Good evening. Oh, that's pretty good, huh? My name is Jack Ambrogi, and I'm superintendent of the Newport Public Schools. And I can't help but think, please don't trip, I can't help but think that up there, Senator Pell is smiling down on this day and thinking, this is great, a school named after me. We have Don Chilton, one of our music teachers, who will be playing the national anthem, so if you'll please rise. Thank you, Don. Former Navy bandman, Don Chilton. Thank you. It's indeed a pleasure to be here this evening to dedicate the new Claiborne Pell Elementary School and have the ribbon cutting. It's certainly a community effort, and our community partners and friends are here today to help us celebrate. The state officials as well who've supported us in this endeavor are here. Our national friends are in D.C. Debating things well above our pay grade involving the Middle East, so they send their regrets. First speaker this evening is Dr. Charlie Shoemaker. Dr. Shoemaker is a well-respected Newport physician and surgeon who was first elected to the Newport School Committee in 2004. Dr. Shoemaker has served as the chairperson of the Newport School Committee from 2005 to 2008, and now he serves in that position again. Dr. Shoemaker is also the founder of Baby Steps program for birth to 3 parent education. It is with great pleasure that I introduce Dr. Charles P. Shoemaker.
Thank you, Dr. Ambrogi. Is Mrs. Pell here or the governor here? They're on their way, okay. But for the guests and friends of the Newport Public Schools, welcome. To expedite this program, as chairman of the school committee, I'm going to limit my introductions to comments to the educational community. First, let me introduce the other members of the school board. Vice Chairman Joe-Eva Gaines and current chairperson of the school committee, Mrs. Gaines. Becky Boland, Dr. Sandra Flowers, Bob Leary, Tom Phelan, and Dr. Robert Power. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Pat Kelly, who chose not to seek re-election and preceded me as school committee chairman. He deserves much credit for revitalizing the building committee, developing the concept for Pell, advocating for the passage of the bill, and overseeing the initial construction. Pat, thank you. Where are you? Next, I'd like to introduce the following persons and groups that have made the school possible and ask you to stand or wave to identify yourself. The first is Ride Commissioner Deborah Gist and her staff. The administration, including Dr. Ambrosi. The teachers, aides, and support staff. Parents and students. And finally, the citizens of Newport who voted to approve the bond. On behalf of the Newport Public Schools, I'd like to extend our thanks to the Newport City Council, the architects, engineers, and construction workers who made the school facility a reality. Today marks not only the beginning of a new school, not only opening of a new school, but the beginning of a new era. In 1876, over 136 years ago, before cars, before yellow buses, and I think it preceded Senator Pell's birthday, the citizens of Newport celebrated the beginning of Cranston Calvert, which has become a major component of our elementary program up until this last June, with the exception of a short interlude due to a major fire. I would assume that back in 1875, when the school opened, there was excitement and the hope that all the students would succeed. But they had no yardstick, such as our current NECAP scores, to know if the students really had become educated. Today we have this yardstick and know that most of our students are succeeding, but some are struggling. Today we're opening a new unified elementary school, which might be considered analogous to a new computer. This new building has all the new hardware, such as internet access to all classrooms, whiteboards, etc., but also has new software, namely a unified school which will provide greater opportunities for teachers to collaborate and provide the opportunity to group children based on their achievement scores in order to challenge the advanced student, yet at the same time provide appropriate interventions for the struggling student. Before we get our expectations too high, we must remind ourselves that the starting line at the beginning of kindergarten is not even. Some kids may have attended Head Start, MLK, or private pre-K, and some kids have been homeschooled. But there are kids that arrive at kindergarten with limited vocabulary and lacking social skills needed to learn. If we expect all these kids to graduate and become educated, I propose that one of our next challenges be an assurance that each kid gets the opportunity to have full pre-K education experience. In closing, our thanks to all made this school a reality, and I invite each of you to take a look inside the school afterwards. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mayor Harry Winthrop. Harry's a native Newporter, and if you want to know what that means, when Harry gets up here, you'll know, because he's not wearing socks. And real native Newporters don't wear socks. All of Harry's children attended Newport Public Schools and graduated from Rogers High School. Mayor Winthrop served 3 terms in the Newport City Council in the early 1990s and was elected again in 2011 and 2013. Mayor Winthrop was elected by his peers in August as mayor and continues to serve in that capacity today. Please welcome Mayor Harry Winthrop.
Thank you, Dr. Ambrosi, and welcome to everyone. This is a great crowd to come see a great school here today. I'd like to begin by recognizing my colleagues who are in the audience this evening. First of all, we have Vice Mayor Naomi Neville here is with us. We have a Councilor and former Vice Mayor Justin McLaughlin. We have Councilor Marco Camacho, Councilor Mike Farley, and I haven't seen her yet, but I'm sure Jean Marie is around. There's Jean Marie Napolitano, former mayor. She doesn't miss anything. I can assure you, speaking for the 7 of us, or the 6 of us that are here today, but the 7th who couldn't make it, we are all very, very strong supporters of education, of Newport and public education. We were all solidly behind the construction of this school. So no matter what you read in the papers, we are behind education 100%. I'd also like to recognize some former city officials who are here. We have former Mayor Paul Gaines is with us tonight. Former Mayor John Trifero. Former Mayor David Gordon. We have former Councilor Dennis McCoy. Former Councilor Mary Conley. Former Councilor Lillian Dick. Former Councilor Rick O'Neill. And also former Councilor Joe Pratt. Today is a day to congratulate and recognize all those who participated in the development of the plans for this new school. And I'm specifically targeting isn't the right word, but want to recognize Jo Eva Gaines for all of her efforts in leading this building committee and the building committee who are here today. The members of the building committee, you should probably stand up and take a bow, because I know you all put in a heck of a lot of work. But I'm going to be very brief, and I just want to convey a short story. When I was here the other day, touring the facility, and the teachers were moving into their classrooms, and the level of enthusiasm that I saw was beyond what I had really expected to see. And I think, although I think the teachers are always enthused about getting back in teaching, I think they were more enthused when they came in and saw the facilities that they're now going to have that's going to help them in their education of our young students here in the city of Newport. And I know tomorrow is going to be one exciting day here on Dexter Street. And I was almost toying with the idea of coming myself to watch what's going on. But I know the first day not everything goes according to plan. But tomorrow's going to be a big day, and I'm sure the enthusiasm of the children is going to be just as great as the enthusiasm of the teachers. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Before I introduce our next speaker, I would like to acknowledge that Noala Pell is here. Mrs. Pell, quite an honor. And now I'd like to introduce Governor Lincoln Chafee, who surprised us all today, Governor. Having previously served as the mayor of Warwick and a United States Senator, in 2010, Lincoln Chafee was elected the 74th governor of Rhode Island. Governor Chafee is a strong advocate for public education and its importance for our state. He's been supportive in his budget submissions to the legislature, and we appreciate that, Governor. Please join me in welcoming the governor of the state of Rhode Island, Lincoln Chafee.
Well, thank you, Superintendent. What a great crowd, and how appropriate to see the name Claiborne Pell on an institution of education. And Mrs. Pell, all through the years, so many students have benefited from the Pell grants all across the country, and now to see Claiborne's name up here on this school. And to all those, absolutely, making a difference, making America the greatest country in the world, whether it's Head Start or Pell Grants. This is what made America the greatest country in the world. And I did start my day at Rhode Island College, where we had a ribbon cutting for a new art building, I think a $17 million new art building at Rick. So a great day when you can have a elementary school at the end of the day, start the day with a new art building, a new, not only education, but new infrastructure. Those two things coming together at once are always a good thing. I know that there are many memories and a lot of history at Coggeshall and Cranston Calvert and Sullivan and Underwood, but they're going to be great new memories coming out of this beautiful new building with all the new technology here, not only the software, but the hardware and all the energy efficiencies that come out of this building. So congratulations to all that made it happen.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce another lifelong resident of Newport. Always a strong voice for the city and for its educational issues. She's represented Newport and Jamestown in the Rhode Island Senate since 1992. Senator Pavaweed has served as the president of the Senate since 2009, the first woman to serve in that capacity. She previously earned the distinction of being the first woman to serve as a Senate Majority Leader and as the Senate Judiciary Chair. And I add a personal note, she's taken a personal interest in this project, and we appreciate that, Teresa. Teresa Pavaweed.
What a great day, and thank you for inviting me to participate in the celebration, although I would have come whether you invited me or not. It's been wonderful I live around the corner, as many of you know, and it's been wonderful to walk by on a regular basis and watch this absolutely magnificent building go up. Mrs. Pell, Governor Chafee, Commissioner Gist, thank you for all your support. I want to recognize also state officials who are here, the Attorney General, Kilmartin, Attorney General. I want you to know Peter was part and parcel of the General Assembly before he took statewide office that developed the education funding formula that has made such a difference for the state and in our competition for Race to the Top. I also want to recognize my colleagues who are here. I almost made you a senator. Representative Marvin Abney. Senator Lou DePalma. Representative Deb Ruggiero. And we also have with us today Honorable Judge Hastings, who served for quite a while, many of you know, from the Truancy Court in Thompson, and has been a real supporter. Mayor, Councilman, School Committee Chair, Dr. Shoemaker, Vice Chair, special welcome to Joe Eva and all the past and present members of the School Committee. I also want to recognize the principals who are here today, both Jane Perkins and Kimberly B. and Townsend. Boy, what a great job you have starting. And I also want to take a minute to recognize, we've talked so much about a beautiful building, and if they'll give a wave, Stephen Agostini, I never say that correctly, from Agostini Bacon, the gentleman that constructed this absolutely magnificent facility. And thank you. Senator Claiborne Pell recognized the opportunity that a quality education provides, and his national legacy is one which includes helping all Americans seize that opportunity. Speaking at Senator Pell's funeral at Trinity Church just here in Newport in 2009, Vice President Joe Biden described Senator Pell as a man who, by opening the doors of opportunity through education, has changed the circumstances of tens of millions of people in the four corners of this country and in other parts of the world. This new state-of-the-art school and the educational opportunities it will present for our Newport children is a fitting tribute to Newport's Senator Pell, for whom education was so important. The energy efficiency measures at this school are good for the community, good for the bottom line, and good for the environment. But it is the steps that the committee has taken to integrate technology into the learning that is really going to make a big difference. Interactive smartboards, iPads, laptops will help enhance the learning experience in the hands of talented teachers here at Pell School, and congratulations to each of you. They will help foster a lifelong love of learning. The success of this project, as has been said, is only due to the dedication of dozens of individuals, and I want to thank each and every one of you, and in particular the Building Review Committee. But it was the citizens of Newport not only approved a $30 million bond referendum, but they made a very difficult decision, and as I've talked to my friends around the state, they just can't believe it, to house all of our children in one school. And that hasn't been an easy road. And it took the courage and conviction of our school committee members to meet that challenge, and our parents to be willing to take that chance. So thank you. Their strong support is a reflection of the good work of Let's Build Pell Community Outreach Committee, which was chaired by William Corcoran and the initial Fewer and Newer Committee. We've had a lot of committees with this school, realized as I went down the list. I've recognized the construction gentleman. I also want to take a moment to recognize the architect, Laura Warnick and HMFH Architects, for their design and their adjusting to get us in within the numbers that we needed to come in. And finally, I just want to say, as the governor's already said, this beautiful school is the result of a true state and city partnership. I am so pleased to be with you here today to both honor the legacy of Senator Pell and to cut the ribbon at a facility which will provide state-of-the-art technological opportunities for our children here in Newport. Thank you.
My understanding is that there are some former superintendents here. Maybe is Dr. Mary Knoll here? Mary, if you're here, wave. I don't know if there's anyone else. Yeah, where is she? Mercedes Colomb, is she there? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to climb over the wall soon too, so I'll join you there. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Commissioner Deborah Gist. Deborah is our Commissioner of Secondary and Elementary Education. Dr. Gist first came to Rhode Island in 2009. Under her leadership, Rhode Island has won 2 Race to the Top grants, truly a remarkable achievement. She spearheaded a number of different important educational initiatives in Rhode Island and is passionate about improving student performance. Please welcome Deborah Gist.
Well, I know that everyone here has been looking forward to this day as much as I have, and it is truly an honor to be included. One of the things that I had the opportunity to do when I was doing some research over the past few years is to study the history of education in Rhode Island. And one of the things that I discovered is that Newport's long history of support for public schools actually extends, as Dr. Shoemaker mentioned, many, many, many years. And in fact, in my research, I discovered that arguably Newport is the home of the first public school in America, although I know there are some other cities not too far from here who would claim that designation. But regardless, certainly among the first communities in our country to have a commitment to public education. And that history extends to this celebration today, and that's very exciting. This beautiful new facility brings together, as has been mentioned, school communities that now have the opportunity to partner, to come together around professional development, to work with students, to provide services that probably weren't available, we know weren't available in every school because the student body was spread out, and that's very exciting. I also want to point out that because of the leadership of the General Assembly, not only in the support that they've provided in so many ways to education, but I'll point out also through the school construction process, the state has been able to work in partnership, as has been mentioned, with Newport to make sure that this facility is not only beautiful and is going to be a great place for teaching and learning, but also is going to save taxpayer dollars, will be energy efficient, and will be a living example of what we can do when we're environmentally conscious, that's not only good for the environment, it's also great for children and teachers, and it's also great for the way in which we use our resources in the state. Governor Chafee and the General Assembly have been steadfast in their support for education. And coming to a place like this and seeing a community that has come together, the building committee, the school committee, all the committees that President Paiva-Weed mentioned, along with the town council and the residents who voted to make this building possible, just underscores that it takes every Rhode Islander, every Newporter, in order to make a quality education possible. All the important people, who are here who have been mentioned, so I won't revisit that. But I do want to just point out, Mrs. Pell, that while unlike probably